Greetings and salutations. Welcome to another poorly cast game of Dota 2. Now, I've been a little bit out of practice with this one. Uni taken its toll on my motivation, but now we're back and I'm aiming to be better than ever for all none of you who watch these videos. So, let's have a look. Let's get on the free camera. Now, we have an Immortal Pub on the plate for you today, and let's have a look at the drafts. In the mid lane, it looks like it will be, I can't tell, it looks like it'll be a Morphling mid up against Lina by the looks of it. Yes, that seems, no, it doesn't. Maybe, is that a mid IO? No, that's a bottle rush. I can't tell. Maybe that is a mid IO. Let's look at the lanes I can understand. We have a Faceless Void in the carry position up against a Sven. I believe that is Sven's favoured to begin with, but Void favoured in the late game, as most matchups are at the moment. Let's hope for a patch soon. Meanwhile, in the off lane, for the Radiant, it looks like we have a Mars Phoenix combo. That's a classic. You have the arena to protect the egg, and it's a strong lane with both nukes and slows to set up for the Mars Spear. Very nice, but in the off lane for the Radiant, we have Pango. Nice, aggressive, harassing offlaner with that disarm. Certainly should be able to give the Void a fight, and by the looks of it, Alina position 4. Both teams look to be claiming 2 runes, or playing heavily towards their offlanes. But now, no, it looks like it is a Snapfire position 4 and Alina 5, which is a little surprising. Normally see it the other way around. Lina does like to have a little bit of farm, but we'll see how it works out for them. And it's a Phoenix 5 as well, so I was wrong on both of those positions, leaving Elder Titan Mars in the top lane, which, assuming one of them has an Orb of Venom, which they don't, that is a lot of right click, which might be quite interesting. I wonder if it was a bit of a lane swap, and now we see immediately the Elder Titan making use of those boots to create, do as much damage to the Lina as he can. Very squishy hero, does a lot of that, but Elder Titan does a lot of damage to squishy heroes in the other game, and it is going to be Morph IO mid. I don't know who wins this matchup. Naturally, I would sort of assume no one does. Both heroes don't seem to do a huge amount for a while until they sort of hit their power spike, so I would naturally assume it'll go level 1 and 2 towards IO, and then as soon as you get level 3, it'll be quite Morphling favoured. But up top, nothing's happening, but Elder Titan pulling another spirit back. We have a double stun. Is this going to go anywhere? No, just a nice little bit of harass coming in from the Lina. Meanwhile, down bottom, I've got to try and keep my eyes on those health bars. Mars is falling low in the top lane. And down bottom, let's not have a look at that. Let's have a look at the last hits. Those are more interesting, as we see very little difference is emerging so far. And actually, it might be a Pango 4. That might make a little bit more sense. We do have a Courier Snipe, and we have a First Blood that I completely missed. Looks like it was a nice little bit of chain stun dropping onto that Mars, who is then falling low. Meanwhile, in the bot lane, the opposite offlaner is falling low as well. Void getting a little bit lucky with those bashes, but he does want to be careful. It's not too dangerous until that Pango hits level 2. As soon as he does, then there's definitely a chance of a bit of mispositioning. Pango desperately trying to stop the pull and keep the lane in a vaguely useful position, but it gets off anyway, at least half of it, which was all they would have wanted. The double wave would have just killed the camp. Now, back towards the mid lane, it does look like the IO is applying a lot of harass. However, the Morph is not doing too badly in terms of CS. Has that level 3, that second point in attribute shift, changes every matchup this Morphling plays, and it becomes a lot more dangerous as a result. Down bottom, we do see the Phoenix falling low. However, does get the Icarus dive away. Up top, still a bit of a cold war. I don't know why I'm putting so much inflection onto my and pauses in my speech. I'll endeavour to stop that. I'll try and talk a little bit more casually, though I'm not particularly good at that. And we do have a setup for the Light Strike Array. Might be Mars. Spear doesn't connect to a tree, but we do have the Echo Stomp. to actually disrupt any good kill attempts now, but we will see how this goes. Light Strike Rain now misses, and lane goes back into relative evenness. All lanes reasonably even. Anyone could die at any point. Everyone has fallen low at least a couple of times. It does look like Mars might be the next to fall, but a nice cookie fall does actually catch both, even with the jump away, and he has no jump, which means it could be a death, but the Pango dies to tower, but Void is torn asunder as a result. But can the Phoenix actually clean this up? Doesn't have anything, and does lose the trade if he isn't underneath the tower with only 1 armor to his name. Either way, I don't think they will be too unhappy with that, as we do have a bit of a skirmish in the top river. A little bit of lag there. My bad. The thing with the IO mid, and the Pango is TP'd in off of the respawn. Nice duke from the Elder Titan to manage to dodge around that, but there is a double damage on the Morphling, but he needs to be careful not to overextend. He does a lot of damage, but he has very little health to work with. Does have the bottle. Might want to bottle up and go back in a second. Certainly it would be tempting, but if he gets caught by a stun, he's absolutely dead. He's going to bottle up. Elder Titan's going to refill it. Maybe they can use the tail end of this double damage to get something done. No, Elder Titan will just be moving away. It looks like there is a bit of a move onto the Phoenix down bottom, but he has the Icarus dive. Should get away, but is chased by the Swash and is slowed up. Both of them extremely slow. Cookie doesn't land. Nice little juke, but that might be the end of Phoenix. Tries to get the kill at the very end, but the burn will not tick out the Pango, and the Void does not want to jump blindly. So it's really on a hair's breadth right now. Sven pinned under tower, could be taken down any moment. But just the edge of the Light Strike Array catches the Mars. Bulwark is there, but no damage really being taken as of yet. We're starting to see, though, the Radiant Cores pull ahead in the last hits. Now, if we look at the net worth, it's much more even. But Morphling is on top, and that's not really where you want him to be. They are managing to farm, to invade and start to farm these enemy snacks, and this is important for the IO. He needs to farm these up with spirits in order to hit those item timings, the key item timings. I don't actually remember exactly what they are. I think it's might be the MKB this patch, or it might be Ags. I can never remember. It seems to change a little bit, and it's not a strategy I see very often. But they will be forced out, and there is a lot of lag at the moment. Morphling, you always get a little bit nervous when you see a Morphling drop down to 1 HP. Now I'm just going to quickly tab and close some processes in the background, so that should be fine. Elder Titan has been caught out, might get the echo, just barely, but actually manages to juke into one of the spirits and kill himself like an absolute muppet. Now, Snapfire in prime position to be bullied. It does Soul Ring, so if they want to commit anything, they have the Sun Ray. It's stopped. Can they actually find anything? It's yeah, I think I do talk a little bit too much about just random spell uses. I describe a bit too much. I could perhaps talk about other things a bit more, like. But how can I talk about other things when Mars is getting run around? He's probably dead at this point. His salve does get cancelled out, unfortunate. Little bit silly to use it when he's in creep vision, and Lina has such incredible attack range, and now he's absolutely dead. Nice job buying a bit of time, I suppose, but not great. Also not great for them in... Void goes down again to what looks to be a solo Snapfire, and that is really not what you want to see. Void and Mars both suffering quite heavily. I think this game is rather on the Morphling and the supports to actually carry this one, which is nice. Elder Titan and Morphling, both very powerful supports. Wait, no, Morphling's very powerful. He's a 1v5 hero, and Elder Titan is great at just ruining team fights. Nice little, I wouldn't say deny there, but he shares the bounty out. It's as value as a play as you can go for when you're caught out. Phoenix possibly making a bit of a mistake, staying down here constantly. I mean, you're not really helping. I don't think pulling here does a lot for you. Void should be able to manage his own wave at this point. He's I mean, you don't have egg, so yeah, I can see the logic in this. You can try and farm up egg and get that sort of XP, but also you could go around the map and actually help your team. I mean, you picked up what, 2 small creeps. Now you're going to go for another pull. This isn't helping anyone. Just leave this for your carry. I don't think this is right. He gets a half ball. He's not going to kill anything. That's a very strong cap. He's not going to get anything, and then he's just stuck here. He's doing nothing. He's not an entity on the map. Playing a 4v5 when two of your guys are behind. I do think that's quite a mistake from the Phoenix, just to be stuck up there. Mars is in an absolutely shocking state. But what else can he do? He's the offlaner. He's got to start making some space. Does get a nice arena off. Might actually get the kill onto the IO. Yeah, will pick. No! Oh, you hate to see it. A stick at the last second, keeping the IO alive as they collapse onto the Mars and sweep him up like dirt on the floor. It's not what you want to see. Such promise wasted. And now a Chronosphere. Surely they'll get Snapfire. They'll get Snapfire. Snapfire's dead. We don't. Yeah, we don't. Would have been nice to see it go into the void, but I suppose there was a point in Phoenix being down there. Sort of. I don't like it. I still think it's terrible. You're not actually helping your team. But you never know. Anyway, I am trying to improve on my casting, so I shouldn't be talking so much about the nitty-gritty of the game, the details. You know, ooh, Pango goes up, Pango goes left, right, up, down. Yeah, nobody cares. Nobody cares. You can see that. Yeah, I don't need to narrate everything. That's a bad caster. But it's quite hard to do sort of the double act you see on. You know, duo casters. You go house in a duo for a reason. You can play off each other. It's hard to have a conversation with yourself to some extent. Though I have been managing admirably, I would say. I wouldn't mind having a co-caster, even if it was myself, I suppose. I'd just record it twice and talk to myself. Who knows? But speaking of talking to themselves, I imagine somebody is going to be complaining about how focused they are. But it turns around. Quick egg. They might actually get both kills off the back of this. But if Pango comes in and Laguna, there's just the attribute shift in time. But a roll, and now Io is here. So that's a dead Void. And that may in fact be a dead Phoenix as well if you can't get away. Eldertine's a little too late to the party. Lena ticks out, but you don't really care at this point because Phoenix is going to go down as well. Yep, there he goes. There's the BM pause. Not even a BM pause, he actually just DC'd. But it's not really what you want to see. Their Sven's farming just fine and your Void's chain feeding. Whether by his own volition or not. It's not an ideal position to be in. Now, I am curious about this Io's build. He's going Vlad's. That's not an item I expected. I can sort of see it, I guess. Auras are always nice, especially when you have minions, and you're guaranteed to have a minion. This minion obviously being another player in this case, because he doesn't have Helm or anything. But when you're the mid laner, I think you do view all of your teammates as you know, your underlings. Same with carries and everyone, really. Everyone just thinks they're the best and everyone's there to serve them in this game, which is entirely reasonable, obviously. I wouldn't dare say otherwise. Here's the unpause. Pango's still not back, so it's a BM unpause from the Phoenix, but I don't think they need the Pango to win this game, and here's another pause. So this might take a little bit of time. I won't skip through it because I do want to work on filling the dead time, just talking to myself, because I'm bad. Well, I'm very good at talking to myself, that's why I cast, but I'm bad at talking to myself and being interesting. That's a very different problem. Now, I don't really want to talk about current affairs because that's dangerous. I don't want to talk about politics because that's dangerous. And any of those, that sort of sphere, that's a poor decision. I mean, what if these get dug up in time and my views haven't aged well? Not that I think they would. I agree with you, whatever your strange opinions are. I'm on your side. I'm sure that's a wise thing to be. Pander, that's the one. Pandering is wise, I'm sure. And now I am just rambling because it's a pause and there's not a huge amount to talk to except for the fact it looks like Radiant's in a very good position to absolutely slaughter. I mean, Sven is... Does he have something good in his career? No, he's actually less farmed than I thought. Well, he's pretty good. He's very farmed, but I almost expected him to be even further ahead, considering he's just been free farming with a few kills thrown in. Mars is a bit shafted. I mean, he's not even got phase boots yet, let alone a blink dagger. Probably got to skip him now, mate. Though it's quite hard to justify that, but I don't know. The arena's quite nice. You have Splitter, you have Chrono, you have Egg. I think blink initiation is very important this game. If you want to have a chance of winning it, and I've got a bit of the hiccups, so I'll try and keep those off, but if I suddenly pause, for once, I have a reason for it instead of just doing this. I don't know why I do that in my normal commentary. I just sort of... I think it's just my brain loading, buffering, as it were. Like a old YouTube video. It certainly is rendered in 144p. Not a huge lot. Not a huge amount. A little bit of stacking going on. Is he going to go for the double stack with the Spirit? Yes, he is. Will he get it? It looks like he actually will get one of them. He got the Ancient stack, which is the hardest stack, surprisingly. I'm actually surprised he didn't get that one. How many times is that stacked? It's only stacked once, it looks like, so it's not too bad. But they do finally get the safe lane tower, and then Void kills Mars. I mean, he was dead anyway, but that didn't help. Chronoing him in and missing half the enemy team. Bit of a waste. Bit of a waste of a lot of your important team fight. Now, we do see the Void's going from Mask of Madness into BKB. I mean, you want damage, but you don't want to die, I guess. I don't really know what I would go. I'm not a particularly good Void player. I feel quite uncomfortable on the hero, but it feels like quite a lose-lose. You're far behind, so you need to survive, but you're the damage, so you need to do damage, but you don't have any. So I don't know what the answer is, I'm afraid. Misses another stack missed. This is quite shameful. Now, will we see something go wrong? The roll is committed. I'm surprised this tower hasn't gone down, and here comes Mortimer's Kisses raining in, and that's Mars done for. Done player, get out. But Swashbuckle misses, the Sunbeam's there, but he does finally go down to the Lena, and they catch the Phoenix in with a cookie. Dying before the Sven can even get there, but what will be dying to the Sven is that tier 1 tower. It'll finally be going down. I am amazed that so many towers are still standing, and that the gold lead is only 2k. 2k games. It certainly has felt a lot more one-sided than that this game. IO has been completely free farming, almost has his mech sorted. I don't really understand this IO build. Well, I don't understand core IO as a rule. I understood it when it was mid, and you build Helm, Ags, and all that jazz. I understood that one. That was quite good. Anyone could understand that. You just killed everyone and couldn't die. And I almost understood the next one where you went MKB first, but this is unique. You're farming up a bunch of support items, not doing a whole lot. Well, I guess you don't need to do a whole lot. Maybe you would if it was necessary. I couldn't tell you. I'm not quite as good as GH. But you know what? I'm sure he's a man with a plan. And we see the Snapfire rushing the Ags because everyone loves Gobble Up. I couldn't tell you if it's a great ability, but it's a stylish choice, and you can jump out of that. Didn't know that. That's quite a sad ult. That's a sad ult from the Mars, and here they come for another tower. Here's the game. It's going to speed up now. Looks like it's going to be dire all the way. Mars actually we finally land a nice chrono into the egg. Maybe I spoke too soon. Egg will pop and catch. Not as many as you'd like. And that's a lot of damage, but can they actually get any kills? They're getting away on such low HP. And they finally pick off the IO. Phoenix is almost dead. Might just go down if they can't do something about it. A quick shift into the Pango, and Morphling begins to give chase. He's got some targets, has the waveform, has his Q up, but isn't quite ready to get anything done. Morphs down, but they can't chase for any more kills. They only pick up a glorified support and a glorified support. maybe, just maybe, they do manage to defend their tier 1 off this, and maybe they can pressure the next one. I think it might be a little difficult. Everyone's got ults down, and they're all respawning. But it certainly shows that this is a draft with a bit of potential. Now they're defending a DD rune. They probably want to give it to one of their carries, but unfortunately that notion will be a little bit ruined by the other team turning up. Problem is the other team is nowhere near as cooldown reliant as this team, as the Radiant rather, and it's going to get a little bit dicey here. It does actually manage to land the spear, stunning up Sven, but it's just impossible to kill him. He's got lifesteal and an IO on his ass. What are you going to do to him? He's just going to whack on your tower. I mean, look, it's not even... He's healing. He's going up on health. And now we see a 4k lead, 17-5. Looks like that was a little bit odd, but... What I do know is, yeah, Void's gone. Void's gone. Phoenix is probably next. Though they might actually manage to burn down the IO. Nope, there's a mech, and there goes Phoenix. And now it's beat a full retreat. There's not a huge amount that can be done. I do think this game is going one way and one way only. Here's a reload down bottom. Just to absolutely optimize farm. IO really is playing as a glorified support at the moment. For once, somebody on the Dire gets caught out as Lina gets E-bladed up and blown to smithereens, and they do it right on top of the reload, so Io comes back, but unfortunately they can't keep the good vibes going as the Sven ports in. Mars falls, and it looks like there's not going to be much that Elder Titan can do to stop this. No, he only managed to catch one person in the stomp, but they catch him on the stairs. And there he goes. Unfortunate. Yeah, it's unfortunate when the other team has quite a lot of map mobility, even if it is really in just the form of an IO, and you are behind. You're just painfully behind. I mean, your Void doesn't even have his BKB, he just has nothing. Morph has an E-blade, yes, but nothing to defend himself, and there's a lot of damage, a lot of danger on the other team. Let's have a look at the other items. Interesting snap build, Ags into bots, but I can sort of see why. Gobble up's fun, and bots let you go to the fight. Map mobility has been handy so far. Why not have more of it, I suppose? Don't know what else you'd buy, really. There's not a threat. Certainly wouldn't mind seeing a halberd or something, but what can you do? Pipe wouldn't hurt. Yeah, pipe wouldn't hurt, but pipe's quite expensive. And who wants to buy aura items? They're only they're effective, but they're not fun. It does look like they will be not attempting Roche. They just wanted to check it. It would be rather bold of them. Rather bold of them to go for the Roche, and as you can see, Dire were aware of it. So they do have the scan down. They might actually turn around and go for it, which would be rather unfortunate for Dire if they don't figure it out. The scan didn't turn up with anything, so they know they're smoked. And they did smoke in response. They probably saw that on the minimap, and they see the Sven. They've got to be very well aware of what's going on. They know that it could be a smoke, but they've been off map for so long. Yeah, they didn't scan the pit, so... But will they check? It looks like... Yep, they know. Now they know. Now they know, and they get the Yule's interrupt on the Mars combo. But Lina falls, but I don't think they're going to be able... No, the Gobble Up's there just in time, but it's interrupted. Egg goes down, but... Oh, the Chrono to defend the Egg and the Roche might actually manage something. Snapfire can't bring it down in time. And they are desperately trying to finish off the Roche, but it looks like Sven's just going to absolutely clean up. He picks up the Aegis in the moment he has... And almost gets the Void by accident off the cleave. And now it's just running them down. Like grass to a lawnmower. Execution style indeed, Mars. It's just yours, unfortunately. But, yeah, that could have gone worse, honestly. That could have gone much worse. They try and pick off the snap, and I think they just end up dying as a result. Quick fingers on the morph might keep him alive with the attribute shift, But it's feeling very futile. Mars will get comboed up by the stun. The interrupt, it's there, but it's not enough. Laguna is quite a lot of damage, and the rest of the team is still there. And Phoenix putting in quite aggressively. Surprised he didn't get caught out with that one. And yeah, the E-Blade is dangerous. Half HP off the combo, but it's not enough. Because it's not going to do that to the ones that matter, and even if you do, it doesn't one-shot them. So the IO just heals them back up, and there's a goblet of the Lina. That's a rather daring play. And yeah, not a huge amount when you're getting stunned up on your own high ground and just absolutely slaughtered. Almost brings down the support, so I think they were low going into it. The fact you can't kill a Lina that gets dropped into your entire team is quite shameful, really. But no matter. Looks like the barracks will finally be broken, and God's Strength comes up just in time to whack down some buildings. Morphling has disconnected. I wouldn't be surprised if that was it. Though we can see, I should have put this away, but we can see there's actually a bit more time left in this match. So it looks like they won't get too greedy. They do have an Aegis on the Sven though, and God Strength up, so I'm surprised they're not being any... They're not really taking the initiative here. I suppose there is still the Wombo combo of the ultimates. However, that seemed like a good moment. And that's a Void who might be in a lot of trouble. He's just popped the Mask of Madness. He cannot get away. So, yeah, he's very dead. That's, you know, be careful with your Masks of Madness, ladies and gentlemen. Because you cannot dispel that silence, no matter how hard you try. Not that he has a dispel, but, you know, would have been nice. Would have been unfortunate. You cannot dispel a self-silence. Pango tapping out some beats. And yeah, so I think this is just a matter of playing some decent Dota, dotting the I's, crossing the T's, and another pause, but I don't think anyone cares at this point, yeah. Void, they just have accepted the loss mentally, and so, yeah, absolutely dire of one. If the carry's not even... well, they're missing their only farmed player, and their carry's very much given up. Oh well. You win some, you lose some. You lose a lot in my case. But that is part of the fun, isn't it? That's why I talk about the game instead of playing it. Much less stressful. I do recommend it. I'm going to try and get some content out a bit more consistently, but it would be nice if this Morphling had a bit more consistent damage output as he once again goes in and doesn't get a kill. But he does get out, which is a bit of a surprise, so the rest of his team doesn't. And he's brought down in short order. They do manage to catch him up. Amazingly, the egg gets off and the Phoenix gets out. And yeah, Pango's diving him under tier 4s. That might actually be enough to pick up the Pango kill. No, he gets cookied out. Phoenix gets stunned. That's that. That is absolutely that. But yeah, I'm trying to get out content a little bit more consistently. Try and dedicate myself a bit more to the grind. Not that I know where it's going to go. Doubt I'll ever be casting TI finals, but you never know. Nice to have a content portfolio out there. But solid game from the Dire. Think I called them the Radiant throughout the entire game, but who cares?